Okay, what is up, guys? Today we are going to be talking about the Space Force and colonizing other planets. Yes, really, we're talking about colonizing other planets when a huge population on our planet believes that Earth itself is flat and not a globe. But let's not get into the whole flat Earth conspiracy theories. So we've got Mars here. Mars, the god of war, as the Romans call it. Okay, the reason Mars is the first target of this galactic Columbian voyage is simply because it's the most habitable environment, with it being about 20 degrees at its most habitable point. And obviously closeness, which is the biggest factor, and the fact that it's sort of the same size. And it's not got a temperature that's going to boil you to death or freeze you to death, so it's not the Goldilocks zone like us, but it can be colonized if desired. So then that raises many questions of, okay, well, we're in Mars. What calendar are we going to use? We're going to use the traditional Western Gregorian calendar. We're going to use the Chinese lunar calendar. No earthly calendar from any culture is going to work on Mars, because Mars takes 687 days to orbit the Sun. That's 687 days is Mars's year, unlike Earth, which is 365. That's 322 days off. You can see why, if we do colonize Mars, that it would be such a difference between the humans on Earth and the humans in Mars, that the humans in Mars may as well become Martians, How would they tune in? Obviously, there'd be a significant time difference, How are the Mars people gonna watch Earth TV, How they gonna watch big events happening on Earth if their time scale is gonna be way off 2 hours, I know in Earth we make do with the northern hemisphere and the southern hemisphere having different seasons, the good old Aussies go to the beach on Christmas, but it's nothing comparable to being, 322 days off. We're 365 a year. Mars is 687. So being 322 days off, that may as well be a year anyway by how off it is, So there'd be no similarity between the humans on Earth and the humans in Mars. Obviously. And yes, we have colonized the moon. But the moon was never out of space exploration. The space race was never out of man's desire to explore the cosmos. It was our tribalistic nature of wanting to defeat the other by showing our supremacy during the Cold War. America wanting to shove it up to the Soviets, Not that I deny the moon landing. They clearly did make it up to the moon. But it was never out of intent of space exploration. It was all due to free market competition of capitalism is so much better than communism, because look where capitalism took us, and that's why we haven't been back to the moon since. We did do a few visits back in the 60s, a lot of people say, we haven't been back because there were aliens on the dark side of the moon that were using the moon as a satellite on Earth to surveil us, and they warned us, and NASA are just keeping that secret. That's why we've never been on Mars since. That's a bit out there. I'm not buying that. I am a conspiracy theorist myself, but the reason I don't believe that is because I believe it costs way too much money to just transport goods into the International Space Station, never mind land on the moon, so I think it was all due to government cost. And with the Cold War being over now, and this idea of trying to defeat a scary enemy, is over now. But then Trump's yapping about the Space Force. Well, isn't this not going to cause a second space racism? That's not going to intimidate other countries, If you start gearing up to land on Mars, what are the Chinese going to do? They're not going to sit back and allow that. The Russians aren't going to allow that, The Russians aren't going to allow being defeated twice, So I just think a space force would just antagonize other countries. It would just create a space race all over again. And if it's due to the actual nature of space exploration, fine. But if, like Trump is saying, it's for military strength, going back to the whole tribalistic urge of why we went to space anyway, due to competition and not due to knowledge, then what's the point? And to counter this Space Force idea, all of the US's military strength is going to be dubbed useless in zero gravity Earth. Okay? Think about that. You shoot the US's great military with their M16s and the AR-15s, shoot out a bullet in space, guess what happens? The bullet shoots out the muzzle and starts floating away from the target. And if it does hit the target, it just bounces back. We designed all our weapons to, like missiles, to combat gravity. And so what are you going to do in a no gravity environment? So what weapons are we going to use, You're going to have to get creative and watch quite a lot of Star Wars to figure out what weapons we'd use to create the Space Force. So yeah, what weapons are you going to use for this Space Force? Fair enough, other planets do have gravity. They either have severely strong gravity that a missile wouldn't even be able to launch because the surface has too much pull, or it's got a flamboyant gravity where it's sort of everything's sort of floating, So how are we gonna do this? We're gonna have to get creative. We're gonna have to go back to the drawing board. It is gonna happen eventually, but I don't think it's gonna happen now, and I think it's a waste of taxpayers' money to do it now at this point. So yeah, that's just my whole take on the Space Force. It's just how you gonna guard Earth, guard the planets you're colonizing. It's just gonna antagonize other countries, cause a huge taxes to pay for it. It's a wet dream that's too sci-fi. That's not gonna happen. So yeah, think about that one. I'm all up for knowledge, the pursuit of knowledge, but I think space, as of now, can just be left aside for more other significant problems. So tell me what you think about that one. See you in the next one. Peace.